Good evening, President Martinez, Superintendent Aquino, board members, and honored guests. Tonight, we are providing a public hearing on the 2023-24 Texas Academic Performance Report, more commonly known as TAPER. Our department shares the findings of the TAPER each year following its release by the Texas Education Agency in accordance with the Texas Education Code. A copy of the district and a link to each campus report have been posted to the SAISD website on the About SAISD tab on the Performance Reports page. Our presentation will focus on 6 main areas: state ratings and results, STAR performance, attendance, graduation and dropout rates, college, career, and military readiness, or CCMR, as well as student and staff information. Following significant changes to the accountability system in the 2023 school year, legal action was taken to prevent the release of ratings for both 2023 and 2024. Data tables have been released, but state accountability ratings for both years continue to be preliminary, pending judicial and legislative decisions. Every year, the special education determination status is based on the number of indicators met on the annual state performance plan for indicators 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. As in previous years, the challenges faced by the district in meeting the targets set by the state are the same as those faced by most districts in Texas, as the state overall also failed to meet the targets for indicators 11 and 12. The possible status designations are, from best to lowest, meets requirements, needs assistance, needs intervention, or needs substantial intervention. In 2021, the district was assigned a rating of needs intervention. However, that rating improved to needs assistance in 2022 and has remained the same for the past several years. Please note that the data for special education determination status runs 1 year behind. The data used for the 2023-24 TAPER reflects the 2022-23 school year. We have already received preliminary data for the 23-24 school year, which will be released officially later this spring, and will be used in the 2024-25 TAPER. That data shows that the district is now fully in compliance with both indicators 11 and 12. While official state ratings are not available, we do have the raw performance data for STAR assessments. Please note that the percent of students at approaches reflects the number of students scoring at approaches or higher divided by the total number tested. Meets grade level reflects the number of students at meets or higher, divided by the total number tested, and master's grade level reflects only those students who scored at the highest performance level. In 23-24, SAISD saw very little change in performance at all standards, with very small decreases at approaches and meets, and no change at masters. This mirrored the pattern seen in the state of Texas overall. It is helpful to review performance for economically disadvantaged results across the state to the district performance. RLA data was stable across the state, state economically disadvantaged, and district with very small increase. Math performance decreased slightly at the state and district level. The district continues to see similar gains and losses when compared to the state. Unfortunately, this means that we have yet to close the gap between state and district performance. There was very little change in overall performance at the meets grade level from 2023 to 2024 in almost all subjects, with the exception of science at grades 5 and 8. For students receiving special education services, the percent of students meeting STAR standard showed small decreases, similar to those seen across the state. For emergent bilingual students, the bilingual students overall did slightly lower than the district average. However, students in the ESL program did have minor gains at both the approaches and meets grade level standards. TEA introduced a new progress measure in 2023, which appears to be much more challenging than the previous method of measuring student progress. Both the state and district are struggling to help students make progress in math, while small improvements were seen in reading. Following the significant drop in participation in the 2021 school year during the pandemic, both the state and district have managed to rebound and continue to test almost every student. Attendance has also been rebounding from the low of 85% in the 2022 school year, with growth in 2024 and additional improvements seen so far this school year. In 2023, SAISD saw an increase of 2.9 percentage points over the prior year, compared with the state average, which increased by 1.1 percentage points. Chronic absenteeism reflects the number of students who are absent for 10% or more of their enrolled days. This was a new measure introduced in 2019. The rate had increased up to 53% in 2022, but came down significantly to 40.6, or a drop of 12.4 percentage points in 2024. Graduation rates track a longitudinal cohort over time from their freshman year for 4 years. The most recent official data available is for the class of 2023. The official data for the class of 24 will be released in June of 25. Early data suggests that the class of 24 will show an improvement. This data does show that SAISD has been rather effective at closing the gap with the state in terms of on-time four-year graduates. The longitudinal dropout rate reflects the dropout percentage for each graduating cohort over a 4-year period. Our goal is to keep the rate at or below 10%. The official rate for the class of 2023 was 9.5. The early projected rate for the class of 2024, which will be released this spring, is currently 9.6, also below our target of 10%. Annual dropout rates reflect the number of students identified as a dropout each year in grades 7 and 8, as well as in grades 9 through 12. These rates have been relatively stable over the past few years for both SAISD and the state. College, career, and military readiness. SAISD, in blue, has shown significant growth and has exceeded the state CCMR rate every year since 2018-19. The last official data is for the annual 2022-23 graduates, which was 79.9, while the projected rate for the 2023-24 graduates is 81. Official data for the 2024 graduates will be released by June 2025. It is of note that under the original accountability system, anything over a 60 was considered A-level performance. Under the revised standards introduced in 2023, an 88 is required to earn an A. At this time, an 81 would earn the district a letter grade of B. CCMR data can be broken into two groups: college readiness measures versus career and military readiness measures. From 2019 through 2023, SAISD increased the percent of college-ready graduates by 13 percentage points, while the state showed a 9 percentage point increase. The largest growth by indicator was for students who earned dual credit. SAISD increased by 9 percentage points, while the state overall only increased 1 point. Please note, college-ready graduates was modified this year to include special education students that receive an advanced degree. Prior to the 2023 annual graduates, these students were included with career-ready metrics. For career and military measures, both the state and SAISD showed a decrease. The area of greatest growth was in students earning an industry-based certificate, which increased by 25 percentage points. Military enlistment was reintroduced for the 2023 annual graduates and does appear on this year's taper, although the district and state rates remain very small. The last time that it was included in the taper was for the 2018 graduates. Again, college-ready graduates was modified this year to include special education students that receive an advanced degree, which means that this measure is no longer included under the career and military-ready graduates. The taper also includes data on post-secondary measures, including the rate of students meeting AP/IB criteria and advanced or dual credit course completion. While SAISD showed improvement in the AP/IB percent met college entry criteria for 11th and 12th grade students, we continue to fall short of the state average. Although there was a small decrease in the percent of students completing advanced or dual credit courses, we continue to outpace the state for this measure. Note, for the first time in several years, there is no data provided for the percent of graduates enrolled in Texas Institution of Higher Education, or the percent who completed 1 year without enrollment in a developmental education course. TEA did not receive the data for these measures in time to include the information in this report statewide. SAISD historical membership has declined significantly since the 1999-2000 school year. Although there was a small increase in 2023, both 2024 and the preliminary data for 2025 reflect additional modest decreases. Both demographics and program participation remained relatively stable from the previous year. While program participation rates for the district and the state are very similar, it is of note that SAISD has significantly more minority, economically disadvantaged, and at-risk students compared to the state. Both the bilingual ESL and special education programs have seen a gradual increase over the past few years, keeping pace with the rate of students across the state. In addition, our mobility rate remained at 24% compared to 16% for the state. SAISD's exemplary PEIMS department coordinates efforts in collaboration with the campus data clerks to ensure exceptionally clean data submissions. Most years, SAISD exceeds the state performance for this measure. SAISD has starkly different student and teacher makeup when comparing to the state overall. In Texas, minority students make up 75% of all children served, compared to 97% at SAISD. Also, only 47% of teachers in Texas identify as a minority, compared to 81% at SAISD. SAISD has more than double the percent of Hispanic teachers compared to the state. While the state has more teachers with bachelor's degrees, the district outpaces the state in percent of teachers with master's degrees and doctorate degrees. Texas has, on average, more experienced teachers than the district, although SAISD averaged slightly higher years of experience for campus leadership. Over the past 14 years, SAISD has lost over 10,000 students, or about 19% of student membership. During the same period, we dropped by over 400 teaching positions, or about 13% of all teachers. From 2010 to 2024, the percent of teachers with 20 or more years of experience dropped from 25% to only 15%. District salaries continue to run slightly higher than the state average salaries. Please note that for beginning teachers, the taper does not include all funding sources. Average beginning teacher salaries will actually be higher than indicated on the taper. House Bill 3 established district local optional teacher designation systems and the Teacher Incentive Allotment, or TIA, which are dedicated to recruiting, rewarding, and retaining highly effective teachers in all schools with particular emphasis on high needs and rural school. Just less than half of districts in Texas are currently participating in the Teacher Incentive Allotment Program. The payout amount for each teacher is a function of the designation received, recognized, exemplary, or master, plus a multiplier based on the socioeconomic or rural status of the specific campus served. Given the socioeconomic makeup of our district, we would expect our teachers to receive higher than average compensation through the TIA program. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time and attention. Additional information is available in the appendix for STAR EOC performance by grade level and student groups. Links to access the State Performance Plan report and campus-level data are also provided. Please let us know if you have any questions.